managed to pull something together. So we'll get started on time, and now I'm going to present to you El Paso County Public Defender Kelli Childress Diaz.
Good afternoon, everyone. Over the weekend, approximately 220 migrants were transferred to our county jail after being arrested for the state crime of participation in a riot, a Class B misdemeanor. On Monday, I waived bond review hearings so that my clients could remain here in the county jail and accessible to me, and I would be accessible to them. I had intended to waive those hearings on Easter Sunday as well, but prior to the hearings beginning, the court, on its own volition, released all of the migrants on signatures, OR bonds. There have been a number of misleading statements made over the last 10 days about an incident that occurred at Gate 36 of the border wall. The very limited footage that we've all been allowed to see that has been released to the media has been widely misconstrued. In time, through the court process, the real incidents that had occurred on that morning, as well as going backwards into the evening before, will be revealed. The charges against these migrants are false, and they're an attempt to inflame the public. We are armed with the truth, and we are prepared to defend our clients in criminal court. I can take a couple of questions, and then I need to get back to work.
What is your next step after waiving these bond hearings?
Next steps, at this point, we have multiple different lines of attack. One of the first things that we will do is to file something called a writ of habeas corpus in order to attack probable cause in these cases.
The district attorney today said that he's pretty confident that they can lay out an argument for probable cause. What's your rebuttal?
I disagree. I don't believe there was probable cause to arrest any of them.
Have you been able to reach to any of your clients in the past 48 hours?
I have. I spent, Ms. Tavitas, my first assistant, and I spent about 13 hours on Saturday. We met with many of the migrants who had been arrested. At the time, not everyone had been processed. So those who had not been processed by the jail yet, we were not able to meet with at that time, but we are trying to catch up.
You still have concerns you might not be able to reach all of the clients that you wanted to?
I do have concerns. The Immigration and Customs Enforcement system that allows me to find the locations of where my clients have been transferred to has regularly been coming back saying that the system is down at this time, try again later. So as of yet, I have no idea where any of my clients are, other than the ones that remain in the jail.
The ones that were transferred to ICE?
Correct.
Do you have any concerns that some have been deported at this point?
I don't believe that's the case, although I'm not able to get that information because ICE will not release it.
How many remain at the county jail?
I believe there are 39.
How is your office planning to keep communicating with all, dozens, if not more, of clients that you're representing right now?
It's going to be quite a challenge. With some of the motions that we intend to file pre-trial, we're hoping that we can consolidate those and perhaps transport people back for purposes of their hearings and have meetings at that time.
Are you planning to contest any of the charges at this point?
We're planning to contest every one of the charges.
Now, so how much does it cost to the state taxpayers to represent each of the claims that your office is currently representing right now?
No more than it costs for us to represent any other case. We are salaried employees, and we handle the matters that are assigned to us, and there's no additional cost on our end of things. I believe there might be other additional costs to the jail, for example, but we will cost no extra money.
Is it in the best interest of the community to just move them over to ICE instead of handling it in the state court?
No, I don't believe that it is. I don't believe we can stop bad behavior that we see that is, I guess, directed at migrants. unless we take a stand against it and we make it known. Like I said earlier, right now, the only thing the public's been allowed to see is some very limited video footage. And there have been a number of interviews with people who have a very clear position about these issues. But until the full truth is revealed, people should not be making up their minds about how to handle these situations. And I think if we don't address it and take a stand against it, first, I wouldn't be doing my job. Second, there are a lot more people that stand to suffer behind these people if we don't put a stop to this.
What do you expect the expediency will be on these cases? Can we expect these things to play out quickly, or will it take a while?
I certainly hope they will play out quickly. I do intend to file, and I believe we may have already filed in all 221 cases. In those cases, our office will not represent everyone. In the cases that we represent, we have already filed speedy trial demands, and we do intend to demand trial immediately when we're assigned to a court.
Have any private attorneys or pro bono attorneys stepped in and fill in some of the gaps?
I do know that there are a number of attorneys who have been appointed to many of these cases. As of yet, I have not spoken to any. I have spoken to a number of immigration attorneys all over the country.
Given that there will be oral arguments over asking for tomorrow, is this something we can expect to see routinely if that law is ultimately allowed to go into effect?
I don't know that that law will have an enormous impact on El Paso if we can curb some of the current behaviors going on by some of our state officials at the border. I don't see a direct relationship between these cases and SB 4.
How do these cases are impacted? If these people are sent to the processing centers and stuff like that, how does this affect their cases here in the state?
Well, it affects our ability to communicate effectively with them. Once we learn where they're located, and I know prior to coming to the jail, they were mostly spread out among 3 different processing centers. Once we find out where each of them is, we will then obviously have to travel to them in order to have any sort of attorney-client communications. So that will be time-consuming for us, but we're willing to put in the time.
What happens if you aren't able to locate a client?
At that point, we would have to turn to the court in the criminal matter. And my guess is that if we are not able to locate anyone, we might proceed a different route with a motion for dismissal.
In your experience, is the DA's office capable of handling such a massive number of cases?
I don't have the knowledge to speak to that.
Do you sense that having 220 additional cases, I guess, is going to have an impact on just regular operations?
Of course. But like I said, we in our office, we believe very strongly in what we do. We value our clients as human beings, and if it takes a lot of overtime by a lot of people, we're all willing to do that.
I've been asking you this a lot, but there's a possibility for the federal government to send these migrants from federal custody, but financially, what do you think? If it makes sense, it will be better to just keep the migrants in state custody at this point? What do you think?
I believe there's going to be a financial burden to someone either way. It just the question is who bears the burden, the county or the federal government. That's not my decision.
Ms. Childress, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Nope, that's all. Thank you all so much.